All right, I'm going to show you how to do a high probability trade on Nvidia. What we're going to do is we're going to buy calls, Nvidia calls, and this is for if you have a low account, a very small dollar amount account. This could be considered high risk, but the way that we're going to do this is we're going to use timing, and we're going to try to only get a 25% return to increase our probability. So let's go ahead and get started. So right now you can see the Nvidia is trading at 111, but we're at support, right? There's support right here, and actually the support might be down here, but you about a $10 below, right? So I think that we could see good support right here, okay? Here and here. So I'm expecting a bounce, right? We want to do this when we have a bounce. Take a look at the RSI. The RSI is indicating a bounce possibility. All right, so now what we want to do is go ahead and look at our option. Okay, so here's the NVIDIA option chain. I want to do the 30 days out because I want to give this some time. The higher time frame, the more your odds increase. And so we're going to buy a call and take a look at these prices here. So we want to go up to probably around where we can afford it. So what area can we afford to buy these calls at? Let's keep going. Well, let's say you only have a $500 account and you want to risk a small amount. We're going to go to the 138 because it's only going to cost us $91 to buy this. Right? $91 to buy the trade, and it has an unlimited profit, and your max loss is 91. And so when people think that this is low risk, it really is. You're only risking $91 here, and you can make an unlimited amount. Now, the reason why it's a high probability or lower probability is it has to go up 24% to break even. So how do we calculate that? Well, let's look at the current price. The current share price of Nvidia is 111.52. We know that in order to break even on this trade, we got to increase by 25%. So let's do times 0.25. So it has to go up $27. So for us to make any money on this trade, Nvidia actually has to go up $27. Now that's pretty insane, and that's why it's low odds. However, let's take a look at the chart just to make sure that there's a possibility. So if we see this chart, a $25 increase from current price would be you at around 130. Okay, so do we think that it could bounce up $25 up to 130? If the answer is yes, then this would be risking $91 to try to get it up to that. And the other thing is, once it gets to 130, then your price will increase exponentially. Several years ago, I put $100 in, and I did a trade on Tesla that was like a 3-month expiration, and the price of Tesla doubled in that amount of time, and my option went from $100 all the way to $3,000 in just one option trade. Now that is pretty rare and pretty crazy, but it can happen. And trading something like Nvidia can, especially if you do good timing. So how would I time this? Well, I would look at my support levels, and then I would go to a 15-minute chart. Okay, and I would wait for price. I would wait for very specific action to happen. And what I would wait for it to happen is I wait for price to break this level, this 50 EMA on a 15-minute. Okay, but then that's not all I would do. Then I would wait for it to come back like this, right? I want to make sure that it comes back right down here, back to the same level. Okay, so we would draw another level. I wait for it to come back and retest it, and then I would wait for it to break, okay? So I would wait for that pattern that you see right here to happen on a 15-minute chart. And we know that on a daily, that's just a small move. Okay, so we get the pattern on a 15-minute, and then I would go in and I would buy the option. I'd look to pay about $1, and I know that at that point I could move the amount of percentage that I need. And just one last note before we finish this video is you want to make sure that, or not you want to make sure, but if you can afford, if you only have $500 and you can only afford a $1, then you could either trade a lower stock that's cheaper and buy cheaper options on another stock. But if you're confident in Nvidia, then go for it, because I know Nvidia will move and move and move. So I think it's a great one. But you could either trade a lower stock, or if you have maybe $1,000 and you're willing to spend a little bit more, buy a more expensive option, and your price to break even gets lower and lower, right? So the more expensive option, the better it is. Take a look. You buy a $50, you're spending $62, but the chance to get break even is you only got to go a couple cents and you're making money, right? So the more expensive the option, the higher the probability, right? So again, hey, check out my roadmap, because I'm trying to help people replace their income with option. I'm looking to do 100,000 traders. Get the roadmap. I'll help you out. I want to see everybody become successful and to be able to replace their income with options. And stay tuned. Subscribe on this channel. I'm going to be teaching how to do option spreads, how to do cover calls, how to do cash secured puts. Everything you need to replace your income with options, I'm going to do. All right. Until next time.